As Julia Trubkina from 90 Day, The Last Resort continues to talk about her loved one's death on social media, her updates seem to be sparking concerns among her fans. Julia was first seen in 90 Day Fiancé Season 8 with Brandon Gibbs back in 2020 after she moved to Virginia from Russia. Julia detested living on Brandon's farm, but she also found her true calling there. Julia has made a career out of her love for dogs. A doctor told Julia that she would never have a baby, and she started calling herself a dog mom. Julia is slowly coping with the loss of her pet dog as she gets back to work amid financial issues, but her recent caption has worried some of her followers. Julia shared a post showcasing her wearing a colorful maxi dress. Julia posed in a part in her multicolored dress and provided fans with 3 different pictures of herself. She asked them to choose one out of the 3 in the caption. However, the caption also included an honest admission from Julia about her mental health. She wrote, "I need to come back to reality. Unfortunately, I have completely withdrawn into myself and my thoughts." Concerned fans like Lasildaram reached out to her with comments like, "Hope you are doing good and sorry about your dog." The fan also asked Julia how her family and her mom were doing. Julia did not respond to the fans' inquiry about her own health and well-being. Instead, she told them, "Thank you for asking. I will tell soon about my family." Julia has often spoken in riddles when addressing fans. Her posts about her relationship with Brandon and now her emotional well-being are rarely direct, often raising more questions than offering clarity. Julia may struggle to fully express her thoughts due to a language barrier, which may contribute to the ambiguity in her messages. For example, she recently wrote that she has completely withdrawn into herself and her thoughts, a deeply introspective statement that appeared in a post seemingly focused on her colorful dress. The contrast left fans puzzled, unsure whether to be concerned or admire her outfit. It looks like Julia has something to say about her marriage and how she is coping with the loss of her beloved pet, Simba. She should have had Brandon by her side as she grieves, but it appears he hasn't been a strong source of support. Julia seems to trust her followers more than her husband, choosing to share her deepest thoughts with them instead. As a reserved person, she appears to be doing her best to stay positive despite the heartbreak. While her fans are offering her comfort and encouragement, her husband seemingly remains distant and emotionally unavailable. Julia might be keeping her feelings private because she could be returning to the show in a new spin-off. Her distant behavior on social media, paired with subtle hints about what's really going on in her life, is nothing new. She hinted at a possible split from Brandon for months before eventually appearing on 90 Day, The Last Resort. Julia may be speaking in riddles because her contract prevents her from revealing too much. Still, she seems to understand that when she truly needs someone to talk to, her loyal fans are often her closest source of support. Nicole as well as Aizen became favorites on 90 Day Fiancé. It wasn't because of their storyline being wholesome, but because how they heightened the drama quotient. At first, when the Moroccan native saw his American wife-to-be, he had an issue with her weight. He urged her to lose some and even unabashedly told the cameras that she looked different in pictures. Soon their relationship became toxic. It turns out Nicole began to think Aizen is a scammer after realizing he took $6,000 from her to open a beauty store in Morocco, but having no proof of doing so. Soon, they split, and they never appeared in the show again. Since then, Nicole has kept finding ways to stay relevant on social media. This time, she has made a rather concerning post about her daughter, May. What happened to her? As mentioned above, Nicole and Aizen's relationship quickly became toxic. The 90 Day Fiancé stars tried their best to make it work, but it wasn't in their best interest. So, they split in July 2021. Nicole was the one who broke this news on social media. Meanwhile, Aizen had not made any new posts on his social media since 2020. Well, they are no longer together. Since then, Nicole had made a post about starting college and continuing to work as a barista. As far as Aizen is concerned, there is no trace of him on social media. He deleted his Instagram, and there have been no posts about him since 2020 and since Nicole announced her breakup with him. However, she has still found ways to stay relevant on social media. Nicole Nafziger's social media has become quite suspicious since her exit from 90 Day Fiancé. Earlier, she would provide wholesome updates for everyone. This included her starting college again, working jobs, and a fresh start right after her breakup. But it looks like Nicole has not posted anything new since 2023. However, her Instagram story remains quite active. In a new Instagram post, Nicole shared a compilation of pictures of herself and her daughter, May. Without giving details, she wrote one sentence: "Please pray for my daughter May." The post also included the prayer and heart emoji. Everyone was concerned as to what happened. Then, the star had also attached a link saying the same thing. Well, the link was of an old article with no mention of May's health. That's how viewers understood it was another one of Nicole's scams. The former reality TV star is used to making clickbait-y posts talking about Azin's passing, her pregnancy, and so on. That's how she gets people to click on the link, which in turn helps her make money. Well, viewers have been really disappointed at her antics. They also think she has crossed the line by exploiting her little girl for the same. Well, Nicole has never explained herself. She did tell her followers once that the website itself posts on behalf of her because they have her social media. Fans don't understand why she feels the need to spread lies. 90-day fiancé couple Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh have made a big move after spending the last 5 years together in India. Sumit was working at a call center when he catfished Jenny from California by pretending to be Michael Jones for a year. Jenny quickly forgave Sumit when he finally confessed to the truth. Sumit and Jenny's 30-year age gap was not okay for his parents, so they married him off to a woman of their choice. However, Sumit continued dating Jenny long distance until she came to India in The Other Way Season 1. Sumit was born and raised in Delhi. When Jenny moved to India in The Other Way Season 1, Sumit had not told his parents about her decision. He also kept Jenny in the dark about his first marriage. Sumit used to make trips between his accommodation with Jenny and his parents' house until he was finally caught by his in-laws. Once it was decided that he would get divorced from his first wife, Sumit began living with Jenny in a bungalow in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India. In 90 Day Fiancé's Toast Season 2, fans got a glimpse of Jenny and Sumit's traditional Hindu house blessing ceremony at the Noida house. As part of the ritual, a priest stood at the entrance and guided them through several symbolic customs before they could step into their new home. He poured water into their hands using a leaf and instructed them to wave their hands above their heads. Sumit explained that the ceremony was meant to purify the space and remove negative energy. The blessing involved Sanskrit chants, a flower pot Jenny carried on her head, and even a surprise cow indoors. Jenny and Sumit considered relocating to Thailand, with David Toborowski and Annie Soin offering their condo in Jomtien Beach as a potential home. David, now a real estate agent, showcased the fully furnished one-bedroom unit, priced at 2.1 million Thai baht, to Jenny and Sumit during a segment on 90 Day Diaries. The condo's proximity to the beach and its foreign ownership status made it an appealing option for the couple, especially given their challenges in India. Despite the enticing offer, Jenny and Sumit ultimately decided to remain in India, continuing their journey together. In a surprising turn of events revealed in a January 2024 episode of 90 Day Diaries, Sumit's mother, Sana, officially accepted Jenny as her daughter-in-law. For years, Sana strongly opposed their relationship, even going so far as to threaten to disown Sumit after he secretly married Jenny. However, she changed her stance. The emotional moment touched both Sumit and Jenny, though some fans remained skeptical about whether this acceptance would lead to lasting peace in the family. In the latest season of 90 Day Diaries, Sumit and Jenny moved into a clean, well-maintained apartment inside a gated community. Though smaller than their old bungalow, it was a more comfortable and secure option. They chose to downsize due to rising rent and the deteriorating condition of their former home. Even so, the new place was still expensive, especially after Sumit lost his restaurant job. On the upside, Jenny and Sumit's mother, Sana, have grown close over the past 15 months. Feeling the pressure, Sumit confided in his mom and asked 65-year-old Jenny to consider working, and Sadhna agreed. "When we live together, we will have good times together." In the latest 90 Day Fiancé spin-off episode, Sumit and Jenny renewed their vows for their 3-year anniversary. This time, Sumit's parents, Sana and Anil, were part of the ceremony. Unlike the first wedding, they offered Sumit a place to stay since he was still unemployed, as many jobs he applied for required trained chefs. Jenny was upset that Sumit accepted their offer without consulting her, but she understood how important it was to him. Supporting her husband, Jenny agreed to move in with Sana and Anil, embracing this new chapter together.